We're going to have 9 lessons and carols here. It's going to be virtual. We're going to be using Studio 997, also the Joy News studio. We're going to be setting up also at the forecourt of Joy FM. But we're asking you to stay at home. You can catch it live on Joy FM. You can catch it on Joy News. You can catch it on Hits FM. You can also catch it on Joy Prime and also on our social media handles and My Joy Online. So you don't have to go anywhere. Just stay in the comfort of your home. Keep safe and then tune in and enjoy Christmas from a joyous Christmas actually from Joy FM.
Adam,
Now, yes, Doc.
as I'm in the studio, can I also call in so that I can take the phone?
Doc, you don't have to call in. We're making special arrangements for you, so you don't have to call in at all. Anyway, so we're going on to our conversation now. If you're joining us, this is Home Affairs on Joy 99.7 FM. And Home Affairs is brought to us by Total Ghana Company Limited, Toyota Ghana Company Limited, Toyota Superior Quality, Total Petroleum Ghana PLC, committed to better energy and avoid all distractions. Keep good eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on, and that's how you ensure safety. And this is our Arrive Alive campaign, which is brought to you by Total Ghana Company Limited. Again, Total Petroleum Ghana PLC. Avoid all distractions. Keep good eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on, and that's how you ensure safety. And this is very important during this Yuletide because you have a lot of, for lack of a better word, crazy drivers on the road. So you want to keep your eyes on the road and keep your hands on the steering wheel and stay safe and arrive alive wherever you may be going and wherever you may find yourself. Home Affairs now is brought to us by Dano Milk. Strength comes from within. Dano Milk, I'd like to say thank you to you and a Merry Christmas to the whole team at Ala Foods for, staying with us throughout the year. They have been with us from January till now. We hope that you are on board next year as well. And we're saying that next week we're expecting hefty hampers from you so we can give to our listeners. So bring them so we can all celebrate Christmas. Also, Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. Thank you for banking on Home Affairs. Now, let's go on to our conversation today. Christmas is coming up. And our conversation this morning, we say, surviving family pressure. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of that. And Doc, once I have you in the studio, we're going to get a bit personal on this conversation. Surviving family pressure, we're talking about the fact that this season, there are going to be a lot of family gatherings. A lot of family gatherings. People will be invited over to places. There are some people who wouldn't want to go because they may probably not be doing too well. And so you go onto this family gathering, and sometimes just because of your status or just because you're not doing so well, you're treated like you're not human, or you don't fit into that circle. I remember a lady calling me, and she was really crying. Then she said, Adam, you guys have to have this conversation because some families actually make people's lives miserable. And I was wondering why. Then she said, it was last year. They were invited to a family gathering. The children, aunties, uncles, everybody, a very big family gathering. We do it in our family as well. And they don't have a car. So they went by public transport, got off at a point, and walked to the house. And one of their aunties just, when he saw them, was like, that was it was her family house. They went to her family. So her auntie told her husband, you two cry, when are you going to get a car for your children to stop walking and getting dirty like this? And she said it was one such moment. She gave her husband a seat and went inside and told her mother that she wanted to see her auntie. She said it was war. She gave it to her auntie very well. And because her auntie was actually championing the party, there was no way they could stay, and they had to leave. Like, they boarded public transport all the way and had to leave. How do you confront my husband like that? And a lot of people go through some of these things. You find yourself together, and sometimes you are the older one, but they treat you like the younger one because you were not able to remit the family or send in something. And you have a lot of young people who are shunning family gatherings, also because you get there and they're asking you, when are you bringing a man home? When are you bringing a woman home? Won't you get married? And you're harassed all over the place. So a time to make merry, for some people, is also a time to be reminded of your pain, just because you want to be with family. And on Home Affairs, we preach family ties, we preach bonding. We say that, yes, what has become is we leaning more towards the nuclear family, but we don't also have to shun the extended family. Every once in a while, it's beautiful to gather together. But if you will gather and it will be such pain to you, why do it? So the focus of the conversation this morning is to find out, people who do some of these things at family gatherings, do they do it deliberately? If not, you who is feeling pained about some of these reactions, how do you react towards it? How do you treat it? And again, to also send, maybe, a word out there to families, to friends, that sometimes you don't have to remind people of their pain like that. So we're getting into it now. 055 11 11 997. That's our WhatsApp line. 055 11 11 997. You can send us a WhatsApp message. What has your experience been you want to share with us, so people can also pick a thing or two from it? And then we will be activating the phone lines on 0302 216541. Remember, we have giveaways this morning on the show. So let me come to you, Doc. Haven't heard from you in a very long time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I said I was going to get personal with you, so let me start that way.
Yeah.
You have 4 daughters,
Yes.
or 3 of them? There are 4.
4. 5. One of them adopted.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
They are
And the
all
son-
married and out
They
now.
are all married. Yeah.
Great. And I'm sure they all have different strengths in life.
Yes.
Every once in a while, they all come back to you.
Yes.
How do you treat them such that somebody is not feeling like daddy is paying more attention to this person than myself, or daddy is leaning more towards these other person's children than mine? How do you handle it?
Do you mean right now or when they were growing up?
No, now that they are all grown up, married,
I treat them
and
as friends. I treat them as friends, and they can tell me anything they want to tell me. Their children.
No, I
have-
mean, do
Yeah.
you have occasions where they all come to visit you?
Right now, because 2 are out of the country,
Okay,
the rest are here,
all right.
and because they have their families to also take care of. It's only on Christmas Day when we
That-
have a general family meeting.
And they all come.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
but once in a while, weekends, one would come with the children,
Another
another
one
would
will
come
come.
with the children at
Yeah.
another time, and all that. So we.
So
have
we're looking at the
constant
situation where,
interaction.
like Christmas, when they all come
on
around,
the
they make
26th
time.
of,
Yeah,
on the 25th of December, Christmas Day,
yeah.
we have what we call the family get together.
Okay,
Every Christmas. I think we've been doing this for more than 2 decades now.
I see.
Yeah. I happen to be the chairman of the Sagbafia Family Union
All right.
and the vice chairman of the Demanya Family Union, because my mother is Demanya.
Okay.
And my mother's younger
Pussy, I pay
brother.
you, papa.
My mother's direct brother.
Okay.
I think he's about 94 now. He'll be 95 in 2 months.
Wow.
He's still alive. So we meet at his place at Tema Community 6 on Christmas Day. It's quite a joyous occasion.
Okay.
But you see, because we are an enlightened group, so to speak, we try as much as possible to let everybody know that, look, all fingers are not equal.
Great.
All of us cannot be the same at the same time. And for that matter, some may have, others may not have. If you don't have, and you can ask for assistance, let the general family get to know. And then we see what we can do. If somebody has a health issue that needs maybe hospitalization, and the person doesn't have the resources to take care of, we just float it on the platform. And before you realize, contributions begin to come
Yeah,
in.
they even have a platform.
Yeah, we have 2 platforms.
That's
Actually.
interesting.
We have the Demanya family platform, the Sagbafia family platform.
Great.
And then we are now contemplating merging the 2 platforms into one.
I see.
Yeah, because my grandfather's mother was a Demanya. And my mother is Demanya. So you realize that
Yes.
the 2 families are related. So in those days, I mean, you could marry,
Yeah,
from the
interfamily
family and all that kind of
marriages.
thing. So we are But let me admit that we have our individual differences anyway. As a family, it's natural.
Yeah.
So we come together, then we share drinks. Normally, we say, look, we're going to have this get together again. We need contributions. We don't tax anybody. So, as your heart dictates and your means permit, you
give.
contribute. And then we get caterers to take care of all the things that we need. We come together. Those that we don't know, we introduce them. And you'll be surprised. We go there, and about 20% of the gathering are rather friends of the family.
I see.
Because some people come with their friends, you know. So it's like an expanding family. But we are so enlightened that some of the things that you have talked about that give other people pain, we hardly see those things. People might talk behind other people's backs.
Right.
That's natural.
Yes.
You understand that. But when the family meets, you know, unless there is a particular issue that has to do with a particular person, so it is brought to the notice of the executive. Then the executive will take it up. But a situation where somebody will be asking another person, oh, when are you going to get hitched? When are you going to get married? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? No, it's not part of our, you know, because if a thing like this happens, it will be reported to the executive.
Okay.
And we handle it.
Has it ever happened?
No, but I rather became a victim. You know, me rather being in the help of affair, I rather became a victim.
How so?
No, because I've been a single father since, 1993, I guess. 1993. So being at the helm of family affairs and all that kind of thing, the pressure is on me. You must have a wife, you must have a this, you must have that, you know. And then the embarrassing situation was it 5 or 6 years ago when we lost a cousin. So there is this uncle of mine, you know. There were people who had gathered in the house. So I was from the church compound where I was supervising people who had come from Gassem. They needed to be fed after the burial and all that kind of thing. So I came into the compound. People were seated. People were cooking. People were doing one thing, full house. Then a cousin who came from the UK just said, oh, Uncle Akofa, oh, thank God we have seen you. We've got a nice woman for you, and, you know, that kind of thing. You know, she was thinking as if she was joking, so to speak. And my uncle was right there. All he said was that, oh, as for Akofa, he doesn't take care of women. He doesn't know how to take care of women.
Wow.
Everybody turned around to look at us.
Oh.
And, you know, it hit me so hard.
It would.
You understand that? I kept quiet. And he said it a second time.
Oh.
And then he walked away. And then they took off.
Wow.
I have avoided him from that day till today.
You see what these things can do?
Yes.
You see, because the fact that I am a single father, I'm not married, I'm divorced. And maybe you have your wife for 30 years. The fact that you have been together for 30 years with your wife, and I am a single father, so to speak, doesn't mean you have a successful marriage.
That's true.
The number of
You-
years
you
you've
may
spent
just be
together as man and
enduring it.
wife, you see, you are only enduring because somebody will say, because of XYZ, I need to stay in that marriage.
Exactly.
So the fact that you have been with a woman for all these years and somebody else has gone through a divorce does not necessarily make you a responsible father. It doesn't make you a responsible husband. There may be more issues under your carpet than anything else. But you see, I have a certain spiritual training. So I just took it in my stride. But people who knew me when I was younger, one of our cousins, thereafter in the evening, she came upstairs and said, oh, Akofa, you of all people, this man said this and you didn't react. All I said was that I don't react to stupidity anymore.
Angel.
I have moved on. I have grown up.
I've grown
You understand? If it were in the
Yeah.
olden days, oh, he would have found himself on the floor.
back to back.
Wow.
I would have given him a blow, I was slap, and he would be on the ground. But
Wow.
you know, you growing up. You see, the thing is this: when you see somebody, we all tell when we have our family meetings, we say it. When you see something about somebody, and you need an answer, approach the person and ask him why.
Yeah. It's always the best. But you
Then
see,
let the person tell you his story.
exactly.
You understand that? So I don't believe in conjecture. You understand that? Maybe my training as a professional teacher, maybe my training as a journalist or as a communicator is such that if you want to put out certain things there, that would not just be rumors. Make sure you find out. You understand that? So I keep telling people that when you make a statement to another person, be ready to stand by whatever you say, because that statement from that person can go to somebody the person trusts. And it will go on and on and on and on, and it will be said that you said this.
Yeah, you're the originator.
You are the originator. So you must be prepared to stand by what you originated.
Great.
And defend it when there is the need. So, because you decided to come up personal, that is why I have,
Yes,
I
yes,
have
yes,
been
yes,
very
yes.
personal in stating the situation.
And
like
that's
this.
what we really
you
like.
understand that?
Yes.
But then the example that you gave, there are some families that are terrible when it comes to these things. Those are families that suffer from what I want to call self-sufficiency syndrome. You understand that? They pick and choose members of the family who are self-sufficient.
Yes.
And then they have a certain clique among themselves. And then they look down upon the rest. Do you understand?
Yes.
So when you have this self-sufficiency syndrome in your family, then it takes a revolutionary to say enough of this nonsense is enough. Then you put your foot down and begin to educate them and let them understand. But if they want to live in their ivory tower, on their high horse, let them do that. You understand that? But then, as a family, I cannot change my name because a member of the family has hurt me. You understand that? I need to stay in that family and make sure the wrongs are righted. Things that we feel are not good in the family, bring it out. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Let us put where the truth is and move on as one big happy family.
Great.
As I said, we may have our individual differences. It's natural with us. But as a collective, there is the need to be a part of that collective. And how do you become a part of that collective if you cannot appreciate the pain somebody is going through? Somebody at the age of 33, a lady at the age of 33 is not married. You understand that? Who says marriage is the ultimate?
That's
You
what we
understand
have
that?
made it.
And if you feel that by that person standing, the person should have a husband and she's not married, call her. When are the wedding bells ringing? You put it in a very jovial, diplomatic manner. Then she's going to tell you her story.
You should just mind your business.
You understand what I'm saying? At times I'm asking the open, Uncle Akofa, you can't be staying alone. You need a woman by your side. The answer I give? Give me a few more years. I'll look for a retired prostitute to marry. You understand what I'm saying?
That's like
You see, you want to create.
Yes,
I understand.
I don't want to be in an environment where there are misunderstandings.
exactly.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need. How long are we living? You understand that? I'll be 69 on January 5.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm nearing,
Nearer my God
not
today.
the end, but I'm nearing, So why don't I enjoy the last few years by not giving myself heartache, by not giving myself mental torture and all that kind of thing? So when issues like that come, I smile over them, turn them around into a joke and throw it back, and then
You move on.
we all live happily thereafter.
Great. This reminds me of I've heard a lot of these stories. That's how come we decided to, talk about it today, so that people stop harassing people and making people extinct in families because you think they do not fit. So, this lady friend of mine told me this story about one of her aunties who saw her and was like, so yes, you're very well educated, you're doing well on your job, you're making money, you've built your own house and everything. When are you getting married? It's a family setting. And it was usually, I see that during Christmas and Easter, a lot of families try together, And so it was during Christmas like this. And you who is asking this question, you're divorced. So she said she turned around and said and asked her and told her that if it was that easy, you'd have been staying with your husband. Her auntie was so offended.
That was a fantastic response.
So offended. And she said for like 5 years or so, they will all meet every year, and she never spoke to her. So she said one of the family gatherings, she went like, "Are you still angry at this thing?" And then she was acting all up, and she said, but you know that this marriage thing is not an easy thing. So once I haven't made up my mind or found the right person, I am better off not being tagged as a divorcee. Yes, they call me a single woman, it's fine, but I don't want to be called a divorcee. You know the thing is not easy, and you are pressuring me and pushing me into, why didn't you stay in yours? So she said she actually brought up the conversation again, and her auntie was acting, stop acting up and let's be friends again. What is this? And then she played around her a little. I mean, it broke the ice a little bit, but they are still not very good together because she, the auntie, really got offended. You didn't realize that these things you were saying will be offensive.
You see, Adam, this is you raise a certain issue. Somebody feels that I am your auntie. I can tell you anything.
And
you don't have the right to talk back to me. Things are changing.
Look, I'll come back to you to pick your point. I'd like to come to Mama T, and then there was this other occasion, Mama T, before you come in, this other gentleman who said he is younger. They went so he had returned from abroad, Christmas occasion like that, and they met this family gathering, so they had cooked, they had eaten and everything, and then, this one is interesting, their uncle, head of family, calls a family meeting with his mother, and even his wife was present. And when his older brother sat in the meeting, his uncle told him to excuse them, and that when they finished, they would brief him. And his brother quietly left because, of course, even before he came to that meeting, somebody had to give him money for transportation. He's not doing well. So he said when his brother went out, he asked his uncle why. Then his uncle said, but whatever it is that we'll talk here, he has nothing meaningful to add, and he won't be able to contribute in any way. So they will tell him later. He said at that point, he stood up and told his uncle that my brother is in here or there's no meeting. So you're treating me like this only because you feel I have money to give you. And so if I was in my brother's shoes, you would have treated me the same. You're not a good person. And then he said he also walked out of the meeting. And that was when he decided that whatever it takes, he was going to make his brother's life better. And now they're good to go. So these things are things we live with every day. Mama T, I mean, your initial comments, and then also find out, especially from you who do a lot of counseling in church and all that, how does this play out really? I mean, what do you hear people say, and how do we deal with them?
Right, thank you very much. Some of these topics are very beautiful, and it's about time we talk about them. I have had a lot of, even before I get 2-3 weeks ago, my old school, primary school, were having, one of our sisters lost a mother, so we went for the funeral. I had 4 funerals. I came to a funeral close here.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people saw me alighting out of a taxi, and then one of them went like, "Huh? We have been hearing you on Joy FM and all this. Did you bring taxi to this? It means you don't have a car." And I said, it doesn't make me an armed robber, does it? You see, and the person didn't say anything again. This is so immediately, everybody who was perhaps giving you too much respect because they thought you are on Joy FM, so you have too much money, or you are too affluent, now begins to see you as nothing at all because you didn't come in driving your own car. That is the most difficult thing. But these things happen. These things happen with marriage. People are always asking you, when are you getting married? When are you? Sometimes you are married, and then family people or friends are not seeing you with the children. When are the children coming? That is the most painful one. And what do you do? So you meet at family gatherings or even friend gatherings, and they're asking you, what do you do now? You say, you see, I don't do anything. They even can see from your appearance that you are not doing well. And so sometimes it's difficult to get into the midst of people. It is a very difficult thing. You are 26 already as a young lady in the church. At 25, everybody is asking you, when is your wedding? When is your wedding? You are attending people's weddings. So somebody comes up to you and says, oh, you are always coming to people's wedding. When is your wedding? Or you have been married for 3 years and everybody is expecting your children. So sometimes somebody can actually touch your tummy and say, hey, why? Is it only food you are still eating into this stomach? My friend, where are the children? It is the most painful thing. Sometimes people do not even know that both of you as a couple have agreed that we want to wait for 3 years. We want to wait for 5 years. Again, you see, these things happen because in most of our churches, you cannot even be given a leadership position like an elder or anything if you are not married. Some of our churches, I remember I went for a wedding a few years ago, about 15 years ago. Then the pastor who was coming to preach, the young pastor was from ICGC, and she was married from a Pentecostal church.
Okay.
Then the pastor who was preaching said, I hear you are a pastor. And he said, yes. And who made you, and you are now getting married? How long have you been a pastor? He said 5 years. And you are not getting married? Wow. He was amazed. But I was surprised too. You see, so this is what it is. Even in the church, we are doing fundraising, and we are raising from 10,000 down to 50 cedis, and we are praying special prayers for 10,000. Is it not true?
Oh, but that's very true.
We are praying special prayers for. In fact, special prayers, they get anointing oil on their head.
That's so true.
5,000, they get a handshake, and then. Okay, there will be a fabric.
And that was the prayer, general prayer. Like
sometimes new people, they don't even get a prayer.
Oh my
so you see, sometimes we do it on the quiet. You are not saying anything to anybody, but the person just gets hit like, wow. And sometimes even when some pastors can go to, so I am calling only 100 CDs and nobody is getting up. And you notice that you are really disturbed whilst you are seated. We are going for first offering. We are walking up to give the offering. So there's second offering, and we are still walking up. You don't have second offering. So you are there, and people are passing you by, and people are looking at you. Are you this poor? These are the very little things that we do to pressurize people. In recent time, I've seen weddings, and I am talking about weddings. Whenever I see beautiful weddings, I remind Osofo that he has to do me a second wedding. And that one day, it was Kwekwase wedding. And I am wondering, the pressure on young people to get married. And now we are cancelling traditional marriage as if it is not a marriage at all. Everybody must have a wedding, or we don't recognize your marriage. And so everybody must find money to have a wedding.
Exactly.
Three young friends, men, they are close friends. So they were having their weddings 1 month from the other person. They were becoming each other's best man. When they were done, the third person's wedding was not too nice. So he was upset one day. He said, "So, mommy, my wife and I were going to visit our friends to say thank you to them for helping us. Then when we got close, the two were already together. Then the other person's wife was saying, what kind of wedding was Kwesi's wedding? Wedding Beni. If you don't have money, what is it? What basa wedding was this?" And he was broken. Amazingly, Kwesi had told himself and his lady that let us build a 2-bedroom house so that when we are done with marriage, we move in straight into our home. And they did not even know. So he told them, I wanted a house before I'm not going to rent. Now, all these things are things that causes people to feel very less. Very, very little. And so if it is happening in your home, I have encountered a number of people who cannot even can't go for family meetings.
Where did Basa Beni saying?
No. Cannot go to family meetings because there was this thing I can't mention here. It was a women gathering. And this woman comes to me and said, Mama, I have a problem. I have never seen you. And she said, because I hear that you people must dress some way, and I don't have those dresses, so I have never been able to attend. Even all the clothes I brought for the 4 days, I had to borrow them at 2,000. Why? Because you see,
Pressure.
3 years before that day, it was my first time at the meeting. One lady, elderly, walks to me and said, "Have you come for the program?" I said, "Yes." "I mean, you have come?" I said, "Yes." "Like this?" I said, "But like how?" He said, "What? Is it your first time?" I said, "Yes." "So come in. Look at how the ladies are dressed. Next time when you are..." I said, "You don't know I'm almost of mommy with swag. This is powerful swag. I don't know what you feel it's swag." But you see, basically he was saying that when you are coming here, you must be in a particular dress. Wear an agbada, something. Wear a gele. Wear this. And that is what makes you a part of this.
Wow.
Again, so into the meeting, the third day, I was the speaker. The woman was amazed because she thought that you need to look like this to be able to speak like this. So if you are looking like this, perhaps you are not intelligent. And she came to me and said, "Are you the same Mama T I've been listening to on Joy FM?" I said, "Yes." I said, recently I was at hotel, the one before President Kufuor's house.
The Coconuts Grove. No, that's the Regency.
Yes. And so
African region.
I was there. We were having a program. Then a man had given me one backlash, powerful, because I parked wrongly. Then immediately he was insulting me and his wife too.
Oh.
"If you don't know how to drive, you must get a driver," and all these. Then I get in, the program starts, he was there, and I am the speaker. And everybody went like Mama T, and people were turning. And then the lady came around and was, but you see, so this is how it happens around us. And people will make you feel that you are less, especially when you don't have a job. I had a brother who never had a job, and the way the family treated him, he kept saying, "Ajua, you are the only person who makes me feel like a human being." Even when you give him 50 Ghana cedis, he feels it's too much. One day I gave him 50 Ghana cedis. He told all his friends, "Hey, this my sister has given me dollars." I said, this is not dollars, this is new 1 CD. But everything that is done in the family which needs strength, he's ready to give. That is all he has to offer. Does it make him a nobody? Does it make him somebody who cannot be used for anything? And family will give you pressure. Go and get married. You are 33 already as a lady. You are not married. What are you waiting for? What is that? And so this is what it has been. People do not even know that there are human beings in this life who are not cut out for marriage. They will never get married for all what it means. And so what is it? Must we be married before we are treated as humans? Must we do this before we are this? And so in the church, people are not coming. Why? Because they must come with new clothes every Sunday. And if they don't have, I had one painful experience many years ago when my husband was a young pastor somewhere. One day we were doing something and somebody said, I was sitting here, 2 people were sitting here, and somebody said, "Wow, this woman is a beautiful woman. I hear this lady, her name is called Repeat." Do you know what Repeat? Repeat means I have come to church 3 times with the same cloth. Yes, this is church. And then the lady turns to me and said, "Do you know?" And they were talking about my husband and said, "Do you know that this pastor's wife?" And I said, "No."
Hey, I mean, the nickname you repeat.
Yes.
Wow.
You see, so this is what it is. The pressure is amazing. And so you need to be, just like Dr. Kofa said, to be strong-willed, to be very strong. And there are times you have to be able to speak in some way to be able to tell the people that, no, it doesn't take anything to make you anything. You just need you to be you. And it is a very difficult thing out there.
I think we should stop giving people too much pressure, especially, I mean, society, family, but we're zeroing in a lot on families because we know there will be a lot of family gatherings, this year. It's just, it's just too painful.
I'm really touched by
some of the things, Mama T. Yeah, how can you nickname somebody Repeat?
You go to some of these churches, and the ladies themselves are competing one with another to outdo one another.
It's amazing.
I remember, excuse me, a couple of years ago, a friend,
and that is going to happen a lot this season.
a friend's daughter was going to be how do you call them, bridesmaid
Okay.
to somebody, and the person who was also going to get married didn't have enough. They just wanted something very simple. So she wanted something to wear as the bridesmaid. And they didn't have anything. They wanted to go and buy what you call Bruni Wewu and things like that. I said, look, hold it. You know what I did? I said, look, take this money. Go and buy grey baft. You know what grey baft is? Adugudon. So we went to Kaneshi Market, look for Adugudon. Then I designed a dress. You know, I did fine art in school, so I can draw. So I designed a dress with certain, areas, and I said, give it to the seamstress. Look, they use Adugudon to sew the bridesmaid dress. When they went to the wedding, people were asking her, where did you order this dress from? From Grey Baft. We call it Agagan. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you see, the this kind of self-sufficiency syndrome, to the extent that when you don't know the person, be careful the way you talk. Somebody parks wrongly, and so what? So at the end of the day, you rather became part of the audience that she is coming to give a talk to. You understand that?
You would end up not taking anything
begging.
home
Oh,
because
I'm sorry.
You see,
I mean, even if he doesn't come to beg you because of ego, he'll sit down and you keep, telling himself, why did I just do this?
that is
did
why I
do this?"
say
and you end up
always
not taking.
ask
True,
and get the facts.
true.
So you see, you don't judge. That's why people say you don't judge a book
By
by its cover. Do you understand that? So there are certain things, if you're not too, you can begin to form certain opinions, but don't voice them out until you find out.
Great. Somebody just sent me a message. I won't mention her name. She says, Adam, what you're saying is very true. It's very sad. So she's trying to say that she went for a family gathering like that, and her two younger siblings were married, and she wasn't. So when they served the people, and the mother called her and said, come and let's go and carry food and serve people because you didn't come with anybody. And her younger siblings were seated, and with their husbands, they came with people. So
She
you can
went
get
to
her.
serve
So
them.
she had to. She said she went inside, had a very strong word with her mom, came back, picked her back, and left. I'm like, that's the right thing you did. Another person said, God bless Mama T. She has spoken facts about the church and society. The hypocrisy in the church is just too much. I'll get on Zoom with Yao very soon, but getting a banking solution that helps you balance it all. We're talking about ABSA Emerge. It's a business banking solution designed for women entrepreneurs that goes beyond banking. Sign on to ABSA Emerge today. That's African City. That's ABSA. Visit absa.com.gh and remember, terms and conditions do apply. And 2020 has been quite a year. Let's end it off on a high note. Riverman Productions, in partnership with Joy FM and National Theatre, presents the Riverman Festival of Plays. Yay! Uncle Ebo's Festival of Plays back. Enjoy 5 of Uncle Ebo's world-class, hilarious, original Ghanaian plays and put excitement into your Yuletide season. The plays are scheduled as follows: 25th December, Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands; 27th December, Sex Scandal; 1st January, Women on Fire; 2nd January, Terms of Divorce; and 3rd January, Bananas and Granites. Venue, National Theatre, Accra. Time 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Rate 300 cedis for a pack of tickets for all 5 plays and 80 cedis for tickets to individual plays. Tickets are available at Joy FM Shell shops at Airport East, Legon, Achimota, and Temo Community 11, Bachona and Hacho Total, Motorway Supermarket, Frank Satosu, and Seychelles shop at Accra Mall. Reward yourself and your colleagues and hardworking staff and stakeholders with tickets to the Riverman Festival of Plays, and reward family members as well. Stop disturbing them. All the COVID-19 protocol measures will be strictly enforced. For further details, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030. Email tickets@rivermanproductions.com. Sponsors: Toyota Ghana Limited, Daffin Finance, Total Family Health Organization, and Cheesy Pizza. Media partners are Joy FM, Adom FM, Hits FM, Joy News TV, Joy Prime, Adom TV, myjoyonline.com, adomonline.com, Gold Street Business, Daily Guide, and Logistics Movers. Roverman Productions, be the difference. And yay, the joyous Christmas on Joy continues with the 9 lessons and carols, which comes off on the 21st of December 2020 at 7 p.m. Relax in the comfort of your homes and join us on Joy FM, Joy News, Joy Prime, Hits FM, My Joy Online, and on social media at Joy997. Performing will be Kwampa Adakwe on the black and white keys, and the harmonious chorale. Kwame Eugene, Kitty, Prince David Ose, and many others will all be in attendance. The Joy 9 lessons and carols lighten up the spirit of Christmas. But do remember, it's virtual, so don't come around. You can tune in to Joy FM, Joy News, Hits FM, My Joy Online, Joy Prime, and our social media handles are Joy997, and you will enjoy everything. You don't really have to be here. In fact, you won't come and find anybody here when you come. And milk just got exciting with Dano Milk. Dano Milk has 3 extra amazing powdered milk flavors to its plain milk, and they come in chocolate, strawberry, and coffee. Beyond being creamy and tasty with pleasant and natural aroma, they are healthy and nutritious, and that help you to grow strong mentally and physically. Get your favorite flavor at only 1 Ghana cedi for the 40-gram sachet, and serve with cold, warm, or hot water. Dano Milk, strength indeed comes from within. All right, I'm going on to you, Yao. Now, are you there? Hello, Yao Sumpa.
Seen you in a while.
Hey, yes, I know. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
It's
So we're
really
good. Yes, go on.
Yes, it's really good to listen into the conversation. I was listening calmly and learning all I could, because it was amazing to hear Doctor and Mama T, and I think they make very important points. But Adam, I always come in with very interesting perspectives. The very first thing I would say is that when we talk about pressure, anytime the conversation is about peer pressure or influence of any form, the story that I always go to is Jim Jones. And Jim Jones, for the listeners who may not be aware, Jim Jones was a pastor somewhere in US who moved all his commune into somewhere Guyana and managed to let 918 people commit suicide. So they drank poison themselves. And out of the 918 people, 304 of them were children. And so the question is, how does a man influence people to a point that people kill their own children in the name of something that is so rational or something that is so imperative that is told them? Usually we like to think that we're strong-willed, and I heard Mama T and both doctors saying that one of the ways to get out of this is to be strong-willed. But I don't think there is any such person as somebody who is very immune to influence. We're not lemmings or we're not sheep, but we're subject to the influence by people we consider persons of influence or authority. Whether that authority or influence is a matter of moral authority, like your parents or family, auntie, or even people of legal authority. So your boss, or anybody who is placed legally above you or morally as a certain imperative for which you're obliged to listen to. Now, having laid the context, I personally, I'm at a point in my life where it appears to people that the next best thing to ask me, or a conversation is not complete without asking me, when are you getting married, right? And it's gotten to a point that it's almost everybody wants to ask you when you're getting married. And it's because they think that, okay, after all the studies, now you're working, you seem to be getting by. So that next obvious thing should be marriage. And there is almost never a time you're having a conversation with friends, because almost all your friends would have a kid or two, be married for maybe 5 years. Your siblings, maybe younger, are married and things like that. So it's almost, but I don't think it comes from a bad place. I actually think that usually people do that because in their minds, that is how society works. It's like it's sequential.
But yeah, let me get a bit personal with you also, because I know you have said that you try to avoid family gatherings as often as you can because it's stressful.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So Adam, I think that just like I said with Jim Jones, the best ways, the strong people, and I think Dr.
No,
Sylvia
you tell me first. What makes it stressful for you?
It is stressful because I am not you. I'm not even the societal norm. And I think it's gotten to a part, the people who truly know me have probably gotten to a point they know that I'm not like any other person. Just as the next person is not like any other person. And so it's stressful because for me, it feels like you're beating me into a certain norm.
Yeah.
You think that I should be something I am not. And it's difficult because, as I said, the person is a person of influence or authority, either morally or legally. So it's either your mother, your auntie, somebody you can, if it were somebody I could retort to and be stubborn, as they always said I was in childhood, it would have been a sweet banter. But if the person is in authority, you're very guarded, especially in our cultural context, where you don't want to sound as disrespectful, right? So and that is where I think the stress comes from. You don't want to sound as that guy who thinks he's learned a lot and who is now disrespectful and disobedient and says whatever he wants to people. So you're culturally minded not to be arrogant or disrespectful, but in that same way, you have something to say. And for me, trying.
I mean, even the way you are going about it makes it very stressful. I can imagine.
You see,
It's stressful.
You are just as a non-conformist as I am.
Non-conformist.
You see, those of us who are non-conformists, we must also endeavor to present our cases as strongly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Because if you avoid the family gathering, there's that even makes them think more that you are arrogant, or you're also having this self-sufficiency syndrome and all that. But go to them, let them know that, look, this is how it is. We need to appreciate that we are different people, but coming together, there is the need for a certain consensus building. There is the need for, you want to put pressure on people. The point also is, if you want me to dance to your music, you must play the music that I'm capable of dancing to. Not what you want to play. That is how it.
That is how it should be.
That is how it should
but
be.
But usually it's not like that.
You see. So yeah, I think you can de-stress by entering into that stressful zone, and reversing it.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
So you see, in as much as I hear doctor, for example, he says that the cousin or the uncle who told him that unfortunate incident, he's avoided up till now, right? I would say that I'm not strong enough and I won't possess strength. And that's why I started with Jim Jones. The best way I deal with Jim Jones is to stay away from you, because I can't, it's stressful, because I like to be rational. I like to have the conversation at a certain elevated level. And so if it's going to be left to the platitudes and the pure emotions, and it's because that is how it is done, I would not survive. And so
He's been very honest.
I can understand the need to say, get closer and perhaps you may change. But you see, I am a pragmatist. I think that some conversation cannot be had at a certain level. And as Mama T said, sometimes it is what it is, right? And so I think that the best way to deal with some of these things is that sometimes, yes, and this may sound very non-Ghanaian, but sometimes you choose the cycles, even including the family, right? Because yes, it's like a forest, but in Akan we say a bomutu, but yes, right? And I think that's the beauty of life. The forest may look like it's a vast vegetation, but the more you get closer, the more you realize that every tree has a distinct position, right? And I think it's okay. I think it's and I think our culture should get to a place where we understand that it is okay to be different.
It's okay
It
to
is
be
actually even okay not to conform, because I don't know whether you can. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to subscribe to a certain social ideology of what life is, to the extent that it makes sense to you, right? And that is not to preach that we should all be very individualistic, because I'm always guided. Anytime that the conversation is made this way, the temptation is to feel very individualistic. I think it should be guided by purpose rather. And so why, and Doctor, for example, will say, tell your story of why you're doing what you're doing. But I would say that I don't need to explain to anybody, but I need to be able to explain to myself, why does it matter that, for example, at my age, I'm not married, right?
I wanted you to come to that.
Probably you are not, right? And so I think that
That's the pressure.
without being very individualistic, exactly, without being individualistic, you have to be focused on what your purpose is, what you think your unique inkling is, what you think life means for you, and what makes you fulfilled. And if you're pursuing that against all social norms, I think one day they may understand, or they don't even need to understand. Just live your life in the best way God has given you.
You see, yeah, the
No,
question
I'll
also
come to you
rises.
because we're running out of time.
The question arises as to whether you can be individualistic in a family setting.
Well, I mean, we have talked about that here. That
Okay.
you can still, I mean, there are ways that you can still maintain you as an individual even though you are married. So we've had those conversations. I think you can still be very individualistic. And I mean, he just proffered solution. That's what I'm going to come to us too. But I'm going to activate the phone lines now. 0302-216541. He just, and I think I'd like to go with Yao. If I am the type who can stand some of these things, and I don't want to really explain anything to you, I am not in the position to tell you this is what is happening to me and all that, just to keep my sanity. And especially when I know that my sanity is compromised when I come into this gathering, I'll just stay off.
No, you see,
And yeah.
you see, it's not easy, because if you stay off and you don't find something to tell the person so that the person can get off your back, then
Doc, but why
the
do I
rumor
owe?
mills.
Why do I owe this person who seeks to bring me down, who seeks to make me so sad, who doesn't even care about my emotions? Why do I need to think about you and
No,
what answers
yeah,
to
you
give?
see,
In fact,
if you
seriously,
don't-
I will tell you off.
Of course, yes. I like that. You see, because it depends on the way the people approach. But when you meet characters who you know in the family, that no matter what you do, they'll bring you down. You don't owe them any explanation.
But as a
In the personal thing that I said.
So,
that
Doc, let me just go.
avoid
We're
my
running
uncle.
out of time.
I don't.
Whilst
Okay.
I'd like you to come to. So, how do you advise that people deal with these things? Very shortly.
You know, we have our different levels of temperament.
Yeah.
You understand that? I can laugh it off. Somebody would go into his closet and weep all day.
Yeah.
You understand that? But what we should know is that, you know, there are people in every society, there are people who operate on the lunatic fringe. No matter what you do, they will still see you and put you down.
Yeah.
You understand? Give them their space and avoid them. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So yes, if
Give
you
them their space and
and
them.
avoid them. That's it. So if you feel like, but you see, it's also sad. It's depressing sometimes that you know that family is gathered at this place. You would really love to be there, bond, get some laughter, be excited and everything. Especially so during a season like this. And because you know there will be 1, 2, 3 people there who would want to bring you down, then you are, cutting yourself off the family.
No,
and
go
staying
to the
in your
family
room,
meeting,
You know,
identify those people, and make sure you don't go near them.
but they will come to you.
They'll come
Oh,
to you.
yes, if they want to come, let them come.
And sometimes they will come to
Do you
you
understand
from a
that?
distance.
Yeah, that is why I said that, you see.
Ajwa, you are here. So this year too, you came without a husband.
No, you know what? In a situation like that, you see, that is why in families we have family leaders. So when you realize that, call the person before the family leader and let the person know that you are going to be a part of this family. And the next time he sees you and embarrasses you, you will find a
deal with
way
them.
of deal with them.
But
I mean,
I also still
it's
think that
you know-
people need to understand that, like Doc keeps saying, we are different people. Sometimes people choose what they want to do and they do it, and they all don't want any explanation at all.
Yeah.
So it is important for family members, friends, and other people to understand that if we are talking about marriage is not a remedy to anything, or it is not the ticket to heaven, or it is in this life, it is just in this dispensation. Somebody chooses not to be married at all. What is your problem?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes some of these things, I don't know what it is. Get married, divorce, get married again. Again, some people are getting married. They don't even know why they are getting married. They don't have money. They
Because
don't have
family wants them to get married.
strength. They don't have anything they
You
have
see,
put together.
the
We
other-
have someone on the line. Let me just pick
Okay.
the call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, while they try to fix the line, let me also say that avoid touching your face because you can get the virus on your hands. I'm talking about COVID-19. For those of us who are thinking it's gone, Christmas is coming. A lot of gatherings are happening. Just be careful and avoid touching your face because you can get the virus on your hands from touching surfaces like doorknobs, laptops, and cell phones. Also, avoid touching your mouth, nose, and ears or biting your fingernails to prevent the virus from getting into your body. Do not shake hands and hug people for now, and do not share personal items. Cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze. And again, get a banking solution that helps you to balance it all. We're talking about Absa Emerge, and it's a business banking solution designed for women entrepreneurs that goes beyond banking. Sign on to Absa Emerge today. That's Africanacity, that's Absa. Visit absa.com.gh and remember terms and conditions do apply. All right.
Is
Hello,
it-
good morning.
Hello, good morning. Adam.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. Yes, you want to contribute to a conversation?
Yes, Adam. Your story reminds me of one incident that happened in church. I remember one fine Sunday, I decided to wear my best of sheets to church service. And not knowing there was supposed to be an appeal, a fundraiser sort of thing. And all of a sudden, the man approached me and called me out to be part of the appeal team. Trust me, that same day I had gone to church, all I had of me was my transport back home.
Oh.
No, what
You should have done it by faith.
Wow.
I have one here that says, I'm 25 years now, a graduate and an unemployed and unemployed. The family asks me during gatherings when I'm going to bring my girlfriend home. Some even ask me when I am going to give birth if I'm not going to bring any girlfriend. This is because my cousins are giving birth and I am not. And she says, I can imagine. Hello, good morning. Do we have somebody on the line? Hello. Okay, so we can do some messages and give our and give the gifts out. We have gifts to give out. We don't want to take them away. So Daniela, Dennis, if we can have some of the messages and then just give them out. It's Christmas. We want to be good like that.
Yeah.
Whilst we wait for that, let me take your final words, Doc. Let me start with you.
You see, I am not saying.
Doc, we have to do this in like 30 seconds.
No, I'm not saying what we do is best, but you see, when you have a family that is just loosely a family, some of these things, can push the family apart. So even if you are a family, establish a family union
Yeah.
as a formal group. You understand that? So that when we don't only meet on Christmas day. We meet every quarter.
Yeah.
So that there are issues that can be resolved, taken care of, and all that. So family cannot just be loose and meet once a day, maybe at a funeral or at any. No, there must be a certain
It is
union
those
within
loose
the
ones
family.
that even know what is happening in people's lives and want to
Yeah.
comment. yes,
Yeah,
so
because
I
they are
think-
loose, so they
Say
do
the same
things. But when it's formalized, then you begin to comport yourselves.
Yeah.
Again, apart from the family, we have friends and we have church people, we have colleagues at work. We are still saying that allow people to live their lives. If you really feel that somebody should do something, get married, do this, do that, get closer to them, listen to their story. Perhaps they have a story behind what is happening. So let people rest and live their lives. Getting married, making children, and all those things are fine, but that is not the ticket to heaven. Allow people to live their lives.
Allow people to live their lives. This one says, "Hello, Adam. I hope all is well and keep it as usual. I always listen to your program every morning, and even as I'm doing now, I've developed a love and relationship app called Odo Spice, and it's currently available. Okay, all right. That's interesting.
Hello?
Yes, yeah, you're there. Let's get your final words too, and then we can wrap up.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
So
Good
what
morning.
I'm saying is that protect
Hello, good morning.
why to be the
Okay, yeah, 9 is also terrible.
Mm.
Okay. Someone sent you a message, a colleague of mine. He says, Adam, you are talking about me today. Oh, I can relate, pa. I won't mention your name. Okay. I think we have to be leaving now. We're unable to give out our gifts, no problem. On the 26th, when we can,
Somebody wants the Adugodon design.
we are not okay. We're not going to be having conversations on the 26th. Really, we're just going to sit down and give out a lot of gifts, and then take your messages and your Christmas wishes. So we'll just keep them, and then have a lot more to give out next week when we come. Adam, this topic, I have been divorced. Sometimes it's tough when all my siblings have wives and kids, but like Doc said, I have grown a tough skin, so I hardly respond.
I don't
to-
know if you can hear me.
Now we
I
can hear
wanted
you to stupidity as well. We can hear you. Please go on quickly. We have just a minute. The line keeps breaking. Good morning.
Okay,
Adam.
so what I was saying is that protect the way you live by all means, protect your purpose, but by all means, protect your sanity. And as you protect your sanity, choose your community. And so, including your where you choose to go.
Sure.
And that would be my sermon word. So protect your purpose, defend your sanity, and choose your community. If you think that you need to be in that community, be assertive and defend the reasons why you live. So, yeah.
Yes, I like that.
I like that
This
too.
one says, "Good morning, Adam, and all your honorable pundits. This is rather a sad situation, but people who do it with the intention of putting pressure on the other party to do more. In some cases, it works, but in other cases, you end up driving family away. I think we need to encourage more, and if we have to criticize, we have to do it constructively. Of course, we can't take away the fact that some people are lazy and need pressure to live up to expectation. We should give room for growth. Thank you for the show. All right, thank you too. Good morning to you all. I'm enjoying the conversation. About 4 years ago, when my sister-in-law told me that I'm not deserving, I don't deserve to be called a husband or something like that. Good morning, Adam. Please, I'm so proud of you for always hosting Mama T. Oh, thank you. She has said it all, and this is indeed a program that brings lives into reality. Please, where is the location for her church? I'm always live on your program. God bless you. This is from Henry in Awoshi. Hello, Adam. I've had my auntie call me one early morning at work to ask me when I'm getting married and whether she should keep praying the same prayer she's been praying for summer about finding a partner. You can imagine my shock and annoyance. I get that a lot from the extended family and some friends. I just laugh and move on, Akusia. Okay, so we have to go now, but see, this Christmas, let's just let people be. People are going through stuff. People are dealing with a lot. You have no idea. People are dealing with things they're not talking about because they don't want to talk about them. And you don't just take things on the surface and assume that, oh, it's because they don't want to do this. Like Doc rightly said, if only there's this friend I had not seen for a long time on social media, and I'd been worried about her. So I called her, and I reached. I said, "You've been on my mind," and I was amazed at the things she told me. So if you care that much, and yours is not just about criticizing and putting people down, give the person a call or get closer to them and find out what they are dealing with before you go on and on that rampage, where you're saying all the things that is killing them even more. This Christmas, please go out there. But I like y'all's position. When you go there and somebody wants to disturb you because you want to be happy, avoid them. If need be, tell them off. But that's how we end the show today. Next week we'll be here. Merry Christmas to all of you. Next week we'll do a proper Christmas show.
Yeah.
But this is preparing us for Christmas. Just ensure that you don't go disturbing anybody this season. COVID-19 has been here. People are dealing with stuff. So let people be. Thank you very much. My name is Adam Naite. Thank you, Daniela, Fairboy, Biggie, everybody who has supported us. God bless all of you. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
So spread smiles to family. Go Blue Band. 1,000 CDs to 100 families. Blue Band is there for me. Go Blue Band. Blue Band is there for you.